Here's something nobody tells you about rambling. It's not a confidence problem, it's not a knowledge problem, it's not even a nerves problem. Most people who ramble are some of the most prepared, most knowledgeable, most deeply caring communicators in the room. They know exactly what they want to say and they still cannot get to the point. So if you're watching this video, you probably want to know why. Because nobody ever taught them how to think before they speak. That is what this video is about. And at the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why rambling happens, not just at the surface, but at the root. And I'm going to give you 3 things that you can use immediately to start speaking with more clarity, more direction, and more presence every time you open your mouth. Now, before we go any further, I need to establish something. Because most people who come to me with a rambling problem, they think that they already know what the problem is. They think that the problem is that they talk too much. Maybe it's a discipline problem, or maybe it's because I talk too fast, or not having enough confidence yet. I want you to get rid of that mentality. The straightforward truth is that rambling is almost never a discipline problem. It's a clarity problem. Now, let me show you exactly what I mean. And I'm going to put a little visual here to help you. When a river has banks, you know those clear defined edges, the water moves with power. It has direction. It knows where it is going and it gets there. Now take those banks away. That same water spreads out, it loses its force and it becomes a swamp. Your words work the same way. When there are no clear edges, no defined points, no structure, no direction, your words spread all over the place. They lose their force. Your audience has to wade through that chaos to get to exactly what you're trying to say. Rambling is not too many words. It's words without banks. And when that happens, something painful actually happens at the same time. Your audience start to lose their trust in you. Not because you're not good, not because your ideas are not worth hearing or fantastic, but because they cannot follow you. And because they cannot follow you, they don't trust what they cannot follow. They will not tell you this. They will just quietly decide you do not know what you're talking about and they will move on. That is what is at stake here. Not just cleaner and clearer videos. We're talking about trust, visibility, whether the value that you have inside of you actually reaches the people who need it. So why does this happen? Why do capable, prepared, deeply knowledgeable people still ramble? I want to give you 4 reasons. And as I go through them, I want you to be honest with yourself because the one that applies to you, that is the one you need to address first. Now, the first reason is that you're carrying the idea, not the point. There's a difference between having an idea and having a point. An idea is a territory, a country for better choice of words. A point is a destination within that country, like a particular state. Now, when you sit down to record and you have an amazing idea, I want to talk about communication, productivity, entrepreneurship, or even a vlog. You have a territory. You're within your country of choice, but you have not yet decided where you're taking your audience to within that territory. So you start taking them on this journey through one part of the idea, then another, then a related one, and your audience is following you through all of it, waiting for you to tell them where you're going. An idea without a point is a journey without a destination, and nobody wants to stay in a car that has no destination. The very first thing you need before you speak is not confidence. It's a point, one clear specific point that everything else in the video serves. The second reason is that you're afraid of leaving something out. Honestly, this part is not all bad because it's rooted in care. You care about your audience. You want them to get everything that they need. So you add more and just one more thing. Because what if they miss it? What if they don't really understand you? But here's the paradox. The more you try to give them, the less they actually receive. Because clarity is not about volume. It's about the selection of your words. The greatest teachers are not the ones who know the most. They're the ones who know what to say and what to leave out. I'll go ahead and share this quote that helped me anchor this in my mind. Incomplete truth delivered clearly beats complete truth delivered in confusion every single time. Now, if you struggle with leaving something out every time you're shooting your video, just paste this somewhere you can visualize it before you go and record those amazing videos. Trust your audience to come back for more. Give them one thing that changes how they think today, how they can be improved, and trust that it is enough for them. Now, the third reason is that silence feels dangerous to you. And I want to go somewhere a little bit deeper with this one because I think it's the root of more rambling than most people think. Now, when you are speaking and a pause happens, maybe there's a moment of silence, a gap between your thought process, or someone throws a random question at you. Something happens in your body. It feels like exposure, like everybody is waiting, questioning, when are you going to talk? So you feel it with more words, an explanation that nobody asked for. Maybe even a joke or a random comment. Not because it's helping that communication, but because stopping feels dangerous to you. But that silence is not the danger. I want you to see it as grace. It is the moment your audience processes what you have said. But when you feel every pause, you're robbing them of that moment. You're taking away the very space that they need to receive you. The fourth reason is that you have no structure to come back to. Structure is so much needed in communication. Even the most confident, most clear, most well-spoken person can ramble when you have no structure. Think about what happens when you drive somewhere unfamiliar without directions. You're making a decision at every intersection. Should I go left or right? This way or that way? And that deciding is taking a lot of energy from the actual driving process. Speaking without structure is the same thing. Every sentence has to decide where the next one goes. And that cognitive load is enormous, and it shows up as this rambling we're talking about. Contrary to popular opinion, structure does not make you sound rigid. It actually gives you freedom and makes you organized at the same time. Because when you know where you're going to, when you have a map, you can stop worrying about that navigation and start focusing on connecting with your audience. I want you to also know how it affects every other area of your life, because rambling is not just a speaking habit. It's affecting the way people think about you every time you show up. When you ramble, three things are actually happening. So first, your audience loses confidence in you. They can see that you're good at what you do, but unclear communication reads as unclear thinking. People cannot separate the two, so they will not even bother to try. The second thing is that your content stops resonating with your audience. You can have the best idea in your entire field, but if it is buried under 15 minutes of circling around the same points, they will click away. They will scroll past and they will not come back. And quietly, the third thing is that your own confidence drops. Every time you watch back your video and you're asking, what was I even saying? Every time you delete and you start again, every time you feel like you cannot get it together on the camera, that is rambling that is taking a toll on how you see yourself as a good communicator. So when you look at the bigger picture, rambling is not just a delivery problem. It's a visibility problem. It's a trust problem, but it's a problem you can fix. So let's talk about what to do about it. And I'm going to give you three things, just three, because we're talking about clarity and I want to practice what I'm preaching. Now, the first thing is that you need to find your one sentence. Before you record anything, before you set up your camera, before you write a single note, I want you to sit down and complete the sentence. After watching this video, my audience will understand that this. Fill that blank with one sentence. Don't go writing a whole paragraph. Don't write a list of ideas. One sentence, because that sentence is your point. It is your compass. Every example, every story, every explanation in that video should be pointing towards it. If something is not pointing towards it, take it away. It can be a really nice story, but that video is not the place for it. One video, one point, one transformation. That is clarity. The second thing is to work with a structure. And I'm going to give you one. It's very simple, just 3 parts. You can use it for a 60-second reel or a 60-minute webinar or masterclass. It works at every length. The first thing is your point. State that thing directly. No hello guys, no disclaimer. Go straight to what you want to say. Your reason. Give one reason as to why it's true. Why should they listen to you? Why does it really matter? And then give an example to back it up. Give them a scenario, a picture of what it looks like in action. So point, reason, example. That is your framework. When you feel yourself drifting, and you will feel it because you're learning, come back to those 3 questions. Have I stated my point? Have I given my reason? And have I shown my example? If all the 3 answers are yes, well done, mission accomplished, you're done with that section. Most people keep talking after they've already made that point. That's where rambling starts. The third thing, get comfortable with pauses. Now, I saved this one for last because I think it might be one of the most important of the 3. This is one that we can't escape. You have to stop treating silence like a mistake. Every pause in your delivery is not a failure or an inadequacy. It is a punctuation. When you are done with a sentence, you put a full stop. It just shows that your thought process is complete. The most powerful communicators I've ever watched, and I want you to start being more deliberate with listening to people when you're watching them. They pause deliberately, intentionally. They let that silence hold the weight of what they're trying to tell you. Every time you feel the urge to fill that silence with something, just take a breath. Trust that what you have said is enough, because it probably was. If you clicked on this video, you probably struggle with rambling in some way. I like to tell you this, you are not born with rambling. Nobody was. Rambling is what happens when a person who has something passionate or real to say has not yet been given tools to say it well. It is not your character, it's not your ceiling, it's definitely not your identity. It's a pattern, and patterns, when you understand them, when you meet them with the right tools, you can fix them. So don't ever second guess your value because of this. If you're looking for one practical thing to do after this video, grab that video idea that you have. Start with one sentence, build it with structure, and practice your delivery. Even if you have to pause, do it confidently. And if you're ready to go even further, if you want to build not just clarity, but the kind of confident delivery that makes people listen the moment you start speaking, I have a video that goes directly there. It's called How to Speak with Confidence and Clarity. I want you to watch it next, and I'll see you there.